Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rekha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. It's your brother Quan the Wild with the Great Millstone Charlotte Camp, coming with a quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And this morning, I just want to touch on this, this topic here of how these spirits of vengeance, are becoming the norm, man. Right? This is going to be commonplace. The love of many waxing cold, is your everyday reality now, man. As we see here, right? This man killed all his kids and attempted to kill his wife's sister and her child, man. Right? And and what we're about to start seeing is more and more events like this take place because of the state of the world, man. Right? We're seeing people in more desperation. We're seeing people in positions that they think they can't get out of, man. Right? Ultimately, people who have forsaken Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But Esau is putting the squeeze on the world to this state of desperation, this state of hopelessness, right, is coming upon the masses, man, right? And this is, some people find that this will be their only means of escape, right? But let's get the scriptures here. Matthew 24 and verse 13, it reads, but he that shall, us like it, verse 12, it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Now, when you read this in the ESV, it says, because lawlessness will be increased. And that's what we're about to see. Lawlessness increase in the earth, man. Right? That desperation, that dog eat dog mentality, right? The priest Amoan Ariyah and I went into a lesson regarding this last week, right? Just how the mindsets of the people is going to be, to survive at all costs, right? And this is this is part of it, man. Right? Either to survive or try to escape that pain, man. Right? And they look at death as a means of escape, right? So you're gonna start seeing more and more people, off their friends and family. More and more people, what's the word? Having these so-called T attacks, take place where people are, these mass shootings and things of that nature, man, right? These mass judgment events that take place in the earth, right? Right? It says, and because lawlessness will be increased, right? So this is going to continue to grow in magnitude, man. The love of many will grow cold, right? And that's that, people aren't going to, have that happy-go-lucky mentality anymore, man, right? Long gone are those, as brothers say, the leave it to beaver days, man. Right? Where everybody was friends with their neighbors. Everybody had a smile for their fellow American. Right? That's long gone. It's growing colder and colder, man. Right? Right? Everybody's for self. And that's the way that the so-called elites have organized this current system. Right? Where everybody is in a separated state. Right? So they're willing to do and go further lengths to protect themselves, man. Right? Let's get this here. Because for somebody to do something like that, right, they had to, it was demons on them first and foremost, right? Those spirits for vengeance, right? As the scriptures say in Job, right? Who perished being innocent, man. Right? Those spirits had to be called back, right? But the person, right, was in a position where they thought they couldn't get out, man. So Sirach 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, right? So that spirit was created for vengeance, right? The as the Elder Hawaii goes into, right? Those Ted Bundy spirits, man, right? Those all those serial killers, right? That you hear the names of, right? Those spirits were created for vengeance, man, right? And then more and more it's gonna, start coming through the works, right? As society continues to collapse, right? As people begin to get more and more desperate, you're gonna see more things like this take place, man. More grocery stores getting hit up, right? More people, more families, right? Whole family lines getting wiped away, and things of that nature, man. Right? It says there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that's at Salakia, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Right? So this is them doing the work of the Lord, man. Right? This is his judgment going out in the earth. Right? This is his call. It's not up to them, it's not up to us. Right? These spirits go out and accomplished what they were sent to do, man. Right? And this guy, right, was a spirit for vengeance, man. Right? Let me get this. Because these are about to be, commonplace occurrences, man. Right? It's not just gonna be these one-off, oh, that just happened there. That was just a special case. No, it's gonna be happening right next door to you. It's gonna be happening right to your extended family and friends. Right? All these things are gonna touch close to home, man. Right? And this is what the Lord is giving us, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to prepare our minds for, man. Right? That's part of that stability in Isaiah 33:6, man. Is to understand that we're about to be in the midst of all this chaos, and the Lord is gonna, have us a way out, man. Right? He's gonna have us to be able to be mentally steadfast, man, and spiritually steadfast. Right? Isaiah 33. Oh, sorry. 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, right? So that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is going to be the stability and strength, right, that we need, right, to be able to make it through, right? To not bug out at what we're about to see, man, right? The violence that's going to, compass the land, right? What did it say? I think I want to say Jeremiah. Let's see. Yep. This is Jeremiah 25:33. It says, and the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. And that's the amount of death that the Lord is sending in the earth, man. Right? And events like this are just the tip of the iceberg, right? It's gonna go from you seeing something like this once a month to you seeing something like this once a week, right? Till every single day it's gonna be occurrences of this like nature, right? Where whole families get wiped out, right? Every single day these things are gonna be taking place, right? That's why Ezekiel, 7 says evils and only evils, man, right? It says they shall not be lamented, right? Because it's not going to be time to have these elaborate funerals and things of that nature, man, right? the fragility of life is gonna be shown, man. Right? The power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is gonna be exemplified in that day, right? To show people that they have no control, right? It says, neither gathered nor buried, they shall be dung upon the ground, right? And this is all the Spirit of the Lord again, right? Going back to that, those spirits for vengeance being brought upon the earth, right? They're appeasing, they're accomplishing that which they've been sent to do, you know? Let's go here. Because again, we always go into these Second Ezra 15, right? And like it says here, verse 6. Actually, we'll start in 5. It says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, right? And why is he doing it? For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and her hurtful works are fulfilled, right? Because this is a wicked land, man. As we read in that Matthew 24 and 12, right? In the ESV, it said lawlessness, man, right? People who, run around ungovernable, right? Right? Without any type of moral compass, man, right? And really, that's the people who live contrary to the scriptures, man, right? Contrary to the law of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's the whole earth right now, man. So that judgment has to go throughout the whole earth, man, right? And these mass judgment events, right, are gonna be commonplace, right, in the near future, man. It says, for wickedness hath exceedingly, right, overwhelmingly, right, polluted the whole earth, and her hurtful works are fulfilled, right? So that it's like it's enough, right? It's reached its limit, and now the judgment is about to start. Let's jump down to verse 14. It reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. And let's get this real quick. What is it? Hosea 4. Yep. It's Hosea chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. And that word controversy goes into a prolonged disagreement, man. Right? So it's been, as the scriptures say, he's long time holding his peace, right? But now he's going to, actually, we'll get that. And we'll get back. I believe it's 14. Let's see. .42 and 14. It's Isaiah 42 and 14. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself, right? Because he's witnessing, right, the iniquity. He's witnessing, again, the exceeding wickedness, right? Now I will cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. And that's what we're about to see, is the rapid destruction of Babylon the Great, man. Right, the rapid deterioration of the minds of these people into states of desperation, hopelessness, chaos, man. Right, this is gonna be normal place, normal practice in the earth. Where you watch movies like what's it called, The Road and Book of Eli and things of that nature. And as brothers in Mississippi may mention, that's just a light, right? A light version, right? As violent as they were, that doesn't give you the full picture of what's going to be happening out here, man. Right? Again, these spirits for vengeance, right, and love of many waxing cold, right, to this same degree, right, to this degree, right, where people are going to be willing to kill their whole families, right, for food, for water, right, for an escape from the mental torment, the demons that are going to be plaguing them. All these things are going to be commonplace in the earth soon come, man, right? That's why you have to get yourself right with the Lord so you don't fall victim to these things, man, right? So that, when Jacob's trouble starts, you can be part of those who are saved out of it, man, right? Let's go back to Hosea 4:1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in the land. And that's the point right there, man. Because this earth isn't being operated, in the spirit of the Lord, right, to the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in righteousness, this is the result, man. Right? So he has to come and clean house, collect his elect, right? Collect his things, and everything else is being cleaned, disinfected, right? Burned down. This is the spirit of the Lord taking place upon the inhabitants of the earth, man. Right? And the whole world is gonna feel this, man, not just Babylon. Right? These same type of events are gonna find themselves to be in the mainstream continually. Right? Where were we? Oh, here we go. Second Ezra 15, or verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, right? So it's destruction to the world, right? This age, this current rulership, this power structure, right? Because of their what's the word? Negligence, so to speak, right? We see the world in the state that it's in. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, right? It means it's getting close. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? And this is more than just civil war. This is the, well, we'll keep going. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, right? As brothers say, it's going to be a dog-eat-dog world out here, man. It reads, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And, why are they going to be afraid, right? Why are they going to be troubled, right? Because it's going to be, hundreds of people, right, perishing at once, right? And even leading up to that, right? Again, whole families, right, getting wiped away, right? Men, women, children. Right, Ezekiel 9th chapter, right? Maids, little women, and children, right? The spirit of the Lord has no partiality, man, right? If you're not one of His, then you're on the chopping block, right? And that whole family, those who perished were on the chopping block, man, right? Let's get that, right? Yep. Job 4 and verse 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off, right? It's whoever perished being innocent, man, right? That spirit got called back, because it was required. It says, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. So all this death that's about to encompass the earth, right? Encompass Babylon the Great, encompass a city near you, right? A neighborhood near you, right? A town near you, a house near you next door, right? All this is because of the wickedness, right, that has been sown in the earth, man, right? And they're about to reap the judgment, of said wickedness, right? And that spirit created for vengeance again, right? That's a part of that judgment, right? It says, "For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, spoil their goods, because of lack of bread, and for great tribulation." Man, so it's gonna be such a state of desperation out here, right? That people are gonna kill for resources, man, right? We're already seeing the squeeze being put on people, and moves being made like this, right? This is what we're about to start seeing more and more on the earth, is things like this happen, right? Whether they feel like they're about to lose their lives, or that they having back and forths with their their family members, about the children, or about whatever circumstances, and whatever it is, right? The details really don't matter in that case, because that's a spirit of vengeance created by the Lord, right? That's going to be upon more and more people soon come, man, right? So just continue to stay prayed up, man, right? Again, Luke 21-36, right? Luke 21 verse 36. "Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy," right? This is the point. We want to be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, right? When you read that in the NLT, it says the coming horrors, right? All the mass death that's about to happen, that's part of the horrors, man, right? That we seek to escape. It says all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man, because we want to be found worthy, man, right? Want to hear that, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," right? And be redeemed out of the destruction and the chaos that the world is about to ensue, at the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? Through, right, again, releasing these spirits of vengeance in the earth, man, right? And the love of many waxing cold. So, Lord willing, I was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I want to close by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Recha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. Kwame Yasharallah, and the Bible Ball. Shalom.